Hey everyone! Oh jeez, right, let's go again.
Come here, voice.
I don't know. Hey
Is that a
everyone!
frog?
Hey everyone, my name's Justice.
Uh,
Welcome to the podcast this week.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of Two Old Futs with myself and Mr. Dryside. How are you, mate?
good. Pow, pow, pow. Back at the weekend league. Pow.
Pat, Weekend League. I got many messages from Dryside this weekend about Weekend League, and none of them were good. Let's put it that way.
None of them were good. They were all censored.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Beep, beep, beep.
The Weekend League rants. The Weekend League rants. Guys, before we get into any of our cacts, I know we can literally get halfway through the pod and then we'll be like, oh yeah, we better tell you what's on this week's show. So let's do that now before we get into everything. So kind of, normal catch up, bit of chat about tradings, new signings, Weekend League rants, potentially, or ravings, maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. Have a little chat about Shapeshifter 2, the cards, what do we think, players we've used. Then we're kind of going to talk about some of the hot topics going on in FIFA right now. Obviously, you've got the kind of the server problems and the are they being hacked. We've got some of the stories about the legal issues that EA are facing in France. Talk about, and then I think have we got questions today, Dryside? I don't think we have.
Got a couple.
Oh, you got a couple.
One or
Perfect.
two.
Guys, don't forget, please send us questions or topics you want us to discuss. It's really important that, it's there for you, that segment, to kind of ask anything. You can even ask Dryside, I don't know, you can ask him whatever you want, but if you really want to.
How's life with Doris?
How's life with Doris?
I'm open to it.
So please send them in, all right? You can find us on @2oldfuts, and you can send us anything you like, all right? Yeah, let's kick on in. So, well, actually, first thing, so me and Dryside have we're having a bit of the giggles because we've just been recording a YouTube video for my YouTube channel, haven't we, Dryside? A new FIFA game. We won't say much more.
Yeah. No spoiler alerts, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good fun.
Best
Look
thing you've
forward
ever
to
done in
seeing
your
the
life,
product.
isn't it?
Apart from the podcast, obviously.
It's really. I keep thinking I'm on camera. I keep looking up at my webcam and like winking at it, thinking I'm on camera, but I'm not. It's a podcast. I'm not winking, obviously, but you know.
Was I being recorded?
Huh?
Oh no. was the YouTube thing recorded? I don't know. It's been recorded. You're gonna have to edit that because I wasn't wearing any trousers.
I said that. So we did a little test, and Dryside decides to put a scarf around his face and some sunglasses on. He's like, "Right, I'm ready." I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, this is how we're going to record. I don't want to." I was like, "Oh yeah," he's obviously winding me up. But yeah, we have just recorded. So make sure you check it out on my YouTube channel. It's CHUFFSTERS. Find us there. It will be out. If you're listening to the podcast on Tuesday, it's probably going to be out on Wednesday. Worst case scenario, Thursday. So you can come and check it out there. And hopefully at some point we'll start putting some content on our Two Old Fut ones as well. Some games and stuff, but yeah, so that's that. So go and check that out. That's all the plugs done for this week, so you can be happy now that they're done. So where do you want to start? Dry? So
Teams.
come on, do you want to start teams?
We'll not go into weekend league. Well, it'll probably lead into weekend league, but let's look at what teams we've been rocking the last. Well, probably for this
Jeez.
weekend league because
How long have we got?
I know we both prepped. Let's just say prepped for weekend league. Me probably. Well, I was gonna say me more so because I haven't been doing it for. I haven't done weekend league in a month or two. But you're worse than me. You change your team more than I change my underwear. That's not that often, but
Well, most people change their team more than once every 2 months, but
you do get the itch. You do get the itch.
only when
So-
Doris tells you to.
Doris tells me to change. All right.
Oh, Dryside, your pants smell awful. Change them. Sorry, Doris.
Where's she from?
Where's she from? Sorry, Doris. I don't know. Right, let's just stop.
So I went not huge changes because I've been building up to this for the last 2 months. So Courtois and I don't think I had Courtois before. So brought in Courtois, the player of the month. Usual Ferdinand, Koeman, Pique. Koeman obviously goes into CDM. Then I've got Zambrotta, I'm rocking the Ricardo Pereira Shapeshifters left back,
Yep,
who
he looks tidy.
is. We'll talk about this more when we're talking about shapeshifters. Sorry, but he is. Yeah, I've never tried Andy Robertson, but I've tried the basic Andy Robertson card. I didn't like him, but this card it's unique. More so the fact that he's left-footed, playing the proper position of left back, because I don't like playing fullbacks off
Oh,
the weak foot.
they changed his weak foot. They changed his weak his foot, his
Yeah.
strong foot as well. Ah, okay, right.
So so he's left-footed, which is great. So, and then that moves me up to Philip Anderson, 87, special card from the Doodah thing, seasons. Then Kante, 93 De Bruyne, then 91 Silva, Bernardo Silva, and then up front, the beast that is the Argentinian animal, and you're all thinking Messi. Oh no, this guy's better.
Maradona.
87 Crespo. No. Not in the game. It's Crespo, 87 Crespo, who has been a lifesaver for me in the game. So that's rocking that time. Really impressed. Most impressive player I mentioned to you before the stream, not Pereira or De Bruyne or Silva. Actually been Ronald Koeman, 88, playing CDM.
Yeah, you've been loving him, haven't you?
Yeah, long shots. Out of the matches I've played, 23 matches so far. I think he's been man of the match in at least half of those. So, yeah.
That's pretty decent for a CDM. But I've used him on Toaster's account for the charity stream. I used him at centre back for 30 games, and I actually really liked him. He felt really decent.
Yeah, great stats. Like as a CDM to have 86 shot, 86 passing, 87 defending, and 83 physical, I think he is. It's your ideal man for a CDM. Unless you're going like the kind of the god tier. So, but for me, yeah, that was my team and performing well. But we'll go into the more detail once you reveal your team. And my weekend league has almost broken me as a man.
I don't know where to start. It's probably easier. Right, let's talk about who I haven't tried this week, because it might be easier. Honestly, I have been a proper fut card slag. Honestly, I've gone through them all. I've just been literally just around the bike shed with each and every one of them. It's been ridiculous. We got Prime Moments Raul, who actually, I didn't like him at the time because he kept missing chances. But then I watched the gameplay back, and when I edited it, he banged loads of goals in. He scored like 10 goals in 8 games, and so maybe I was a bit harsh on him. I tried Moments Essien. I've tried Moments Ferdinand. Essien I liked. Ferdinand I did not like at all. It doesn't feel any different from like Mid Blanc or a few other centre backs. And I'm glad I didn't buy him because obviously that Ramos has come out. I tried Moments Crespo, who I actually really liked. Team of the Year Mbappe, Moments Kaká, really liked Moments Kaká actually. Now the reason, so you might be thinking, what is this guy like? What's he doing? So I've been watching the market a lot for these cards, and actually picking them up when they're really good prices, so I can flip them. So it's kind of like trialing them and trading them at the same time. So for example, Team of the Year Mbappe, I made 280k after tax. Kaká I made about 150 to 200. I can't remember exactly after tax. The other Raul was pretty much flat. I think Crespo ended up losing about 10k, but that's what my kind of aim was with it. I wanted to try some cards, but also pick them up at a price that was kind of, decent. Then obviously we get to the more painful stages of. So I was in Weekend League. Weekend League was going really well, and me being me, I decided to change the team. I don't know why. Just been switching up all weekend as I had been, and under peer pressure from chat live on stream, I decided to put all my coins, and I don't know why I did this, into mid R9. And let's just say he did not perform. It was, he was awful for me. Now I've got a massive, massively overplay with cards. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, so I tried moments at mid R9. And I've kind of stripped back now, so I've sold him today. Oh, Schmeichel. I used Schmeichel for one game, and I made 20k. The moment Schmeichel. He literally Van der Sar pissed me off so much in one game, like literally just the no hand saves, where they just fall over without the hands. And I was like, you've had it.
Talked about this.
You're gone.
We've talked about this about goalkeepers in the game. There's just
all crap. Literally those shots, any shot, and especially if it's a finesse shot, I find any kind of a shot from just the corner, like that line from the middle of the goal to the 18-yard box, anywhere from there, my goalie literally just falls over, doesn't really dive, just falls, collapses with his hands tied to his side. It literally is really infuriating. So I bought Schmeichel, chucked him in. Within 20 minutes of the first game, he conceded one of those goals straight up. I think I rage quit the game in the end. Sold him, made profit, made 20k actually. Sold him, went back to Van der Sar and apologised. But yeah, so the team, I've been using the team a lot, but I think for anyone out there who does what I do and you change the team, doesn't matter what caliber, right? Doesn't matter if you're changing it for 10k players or whatever, but if you're changing the team a lot, overplaying is one of the biggest problems for me. I get a big player and I'm like, oh yes. So I get the ball and it'll be like R9, R9. Right, skill, dribble, skill. And inevitably that always ends up in getting tackled because you're not playing your normal game. You're not passing the ball to create space or movement. It's just, you're very static. And that's hurt me this weekend. And yeah, so, but no.
we talked about that. Sorry, I think we talked about that before, saying that the more expensive you go on a player, the more the expectations are higher. So then you end up putting more pressure on yourself that you force the play to give it to that player because you almost want to justify their place in the team.
And you want the buzz. Yeah, and you want the buzz. There's nothing better than when you get a new player. Like you with Crespo, right? How happy you could tell in your voice when you're talking, you're like, the beast that is Crespo. Like that love for a player, when you find that, it's brilliant. And you'd rather find that with a beast that's, really high rated. If you find it with like an 82 rated, that's great. But you know what I mean? I prefer if you find it with your main player in your team, your most expensive or your highest rated. It's always good if they're the main man, in my opinion, which obviously is not. Some people prefer it the other way. But I just didn't find that. And it's
You always tend to get up with a striker too. You don't get. I've got Zambrota, right back, but I don't go, oh yes, Zambrota, great run up the line or great move. It's always going to be a striker's always going to be tested on his goals. Not how many chances he has or how many times he hits the post or how many times he plays somebody in. It's just goals. And you're going to be saying, I spent X amount of million. Well, does he deliver?
Exactly.
Well,
and I was, for 7 million, I was like, 7 million? I was
7 million.
Well, 7.2, wasn't he? But, so yeah, and the team at the minute, I mean, I've been talking to you about this. So I've been talking about the team. I'm like, obviously Mbabu's just got an upgrade, and then on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, it was. No, it might have been Saturday. Mm-hmm. Friday or Saturday, I did Zakaria. I can't remember whenever. It might have been Saturday I did Zakaria, but I did it just before 6 o'clock, and then obviously EA dropped Ramos at 6 o'clock. I think it must have been Saturday, and I've just used up all of my fodder in my club, the rest of it after playing them with Neymar, on doing Zakaria to partners Mbabu, and he's actually all right. He's not that bad. But I just looked at that Ramos card and I was just like, ding dong.
I actually think I sent you a message saying, I think I might have said just don't. Knowing that you'd be attracted to it, I think just don't do it.
Dang.
I agree. It's a great card, but for a right back,
500k. I've done him.
Yeah,
he's in the club.
It is, I suppose it is. It is good in that way. But then I suppose when you think about it, for cost wise, like my done Screen PK cost, I think it was about 100k.
Yeah, but he was 120k, I think. But Ramos is 10 times. Ramos is
he's better. I'll give you that. But in terms of position, 500k.
Yeah,
no, maybe
but even if you play him off chem, he's still a great player.
Yeah.
But honestly, the weird and wonderful ideas I've been coming up with to I'm not going to go through it honestly because everyone would just be like, oh my god. But like literally, the one of the things to have everyone on chem was Ramos right back, get Koeman moments as my centre back, then by moments Zanetti as my CDM, and then in game rotate it round. So Ramos centre back, moments Zanetti right back, and Koeman CDM. But then I was like, I can't warrant spending 1.8 million on a right back for Zanetti. It just seems like a waste. So I'm now trying to figure out how I can fit Carlos Alberto 93 card in. I was looking at Semedo and trying to fit him in, but actually playing one of these cards. I want Ramos on full chem. I'm probably going to play Carlos Alberto off chem. And then basically I've got a choice of either upgrading Roy Keane to a better kind of CDM / box-to-box midfielder for a 4-4-2, or I upgrade Player of the Month Mane, who currently is on plays 7 chem because I play him as a right winger, even though he's left wing. So I've got the choice of about. So it's a nice choice. I've got like 2.5 million coins to upgrade one or both of those players, and I've literally no idea what to do.
Fucking, you lost me at Ramos there. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've lost myself. So yeah, there we go. But I spend way too much time on Futbin. Yeah, what we do it? Is this
Weekend League?
Weekend? What day
Weekend
is it?
League. Weekend League. So.
Oh, here we go. You think me talking about my squads is bad? You wait till you're dry, so I talk about Weekend League.
Right.
Get the beeps
See,
ready.
if we had the ability just to switch on the podcast yesterday, I was on a serious rant, like proper full scale rant about EA. You know, and everybody will be guilty of this. And you're guilty of it too. I'm sure you are. But the whole talking to yourself when you're playing, like talking as if you're making a statement to the post match interview about what happened every match. The BS that happened.
Oh, 100%.
And it was a bit of a mixture, and it gave me a bit of an eye opener because I haven't played it in so long. Maybe that was a good thing, because I think I even sent a message to you. First 4 or 5 games were fine. A couple of wins, lost one, which was probably a decent player, which was fine. And then we talked about this with Sierra on one of the previous pods about using drop back but not using the full kind of depth
shebang.
And
yeah.
then, it brings your players back into position, which I agree with 100%. But there's one downfall when you do that, and this is where the person usually gets me. And maybe I should have thought quicker. But so I was playing a guy and it was 1-1. He went 2-1 up, and then it was about the 60th minute. And because I was on drop back, all your players, pretty much from the halfway line, drop back into position, which is what you want. But by doing that, it gives then the opponent the chance just to knock it back across their back four continually, and you're not pressing.
Yeah, if you're down, you have to switch it up. Yeah, if you go, generally when people like the drop back depth oneers, they turn that on once they go 1-0 up, or if they go 1-0 down, they'll switch to a heavy press formation. So if you don't switch,
this guy for literally 30 minutes of the game was just knocking about this back line, back to the keeper, back out to the left back, centre back, right back, and across. Now, in my eyes, I don't really care. We've talked about this before. We don't really play this game, or I personally don't play this game for the rewards. It's not about that. It's just try and have fun and enjoy a bit of competitive FIFA with the team you've got. But if you feel that,
or get angry and bitch about it with mates, is basically what we're saying.
Or go to a podcast and rant about it.
Yeah.
If you have to play a game for 30 minutes, like a whole, don't get me wrong, I get that. If it's the last 5 minutes of the game, rock out, waste time. I would do it. Of course I would. Anybody will do it. But for 30 minutes of the game, to do that is pretty disgusting. If that's how desperate you are for a win, for rewards, then you need to have a look at the reason why you're playing the game.
Exactly. No, I agree. And that's why I think I've actually changed my... And I think you may have done the same, because I know you used loans this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, 100%, for that reason. That why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I've actually changed my view. I used to be like, oh, loans are dirty. But then I was actually like, but why? Because you've got to play the game that's given in front of you. Like, yes, Weekend League is a competitive mode, but why do I play it? I don't play for the rewards. I play to try and get better, and to try and do better, which I don't. I fail at miserably, but still. And I'm like, okay, but I also play for fun. I play because I enjoy playing. So if I've got a loan, I've got a loan card sat in my club that I never use, because I don't use it in Rivals generally because I'm doing objectives. I'm not going to use it in
You wanna
squad
waste it, yeah.
battles. I use it in friendlies, but it doesn't use up its contracts. So why shouldn't I try it out? Like, the whole point of those loan cards are so you can try players out. Well, actually, the real point is so you use them, you love them, and then you might buy FIFA points. I guess that's a real thing with EA. But for loan
Yes.
cards are brilliant because you get to try a player out. And I used a couple of loans this week as well. And other people, when they had loans, I was like, nah, fair one, why not? That's what it's there for. Like, try not to take it too seriously because there's a lot of people that, when they, as you said, they play it and it's just so serious and like.
This is the problem, and this maybe kind of put me in the mindset of why to use lone players because I came up against somebody. I initially didn't have any, and I came up against somebody who had I think it was lone Ronaldo, the team of the year, team of the year Ronaldo, and I just thought, oh, that's just dirty. But then I thought, when I started doing it, I thought the reason why I done it because somebody before me done it, so that person has probably done it for the same reason. So it's a knock-on effect. So if you're playing somebody that has a lone player, it's probably because they went through the same experience. It's not because they have just all of a sudden said, "Well, I'm going to play a lone player."
And also,
it's a domino effect.
And they only get them for a few games. It's not like everyone. So if you face, they've only used that card for 5 games. So it's not the end. It's not like they've got a 40 card team of the year Ronaldo is going to affect the whole weekend league. It's just for 4 games. And also the weekend league is, I think we got, unless you're a player that needs to get verified, it really doesn't matter like what you get. Like if you need to get verified, whether you're a pro or you want to be a pro, whatever, then it matters because you want to get verified. But for anyone else, it doesn't really matter. So I just take it far less seriously now. I'm just like, well, I use Richarlison for a bit, and I was like, you know what? If people get moved, that's fine. I've got money to buy somebody who's probably better than him, but I just want to give him a try. I want to give who's the other one, Mendy, a try, and that's what it's all about. You give them a try in weekend league. Do you like them? Do you dislike them? And I think, did I say this to you? I can't remember. We were saying about how desperate I am for daily knockout tournaments, daily like tournaments.
Yeah.
Because at the minute you've got draft, which is great. It's like the tournament format. The rewards are crap. They need to change the rewards so they are more structured. Is in you know what you're going to get if you win, right? So they say, look, you're going to get these rewards if you win. But that's great. And then you've got weekend league, which is really time consuming, everything. Just a hybrid, daily knockout tournaments with your FUT team, different rewards each day. So it could be an objective player, even if it's not a great one, like an 84 rated, so a cool card. That's all good fun stuff. And then people can play it if they want to play it, and have different criteria. That'd be great. different criteria to enter. So almost like objectives, but different criteria. Be brilliant. Like 7 French players.
Yeah, and what about a reward? That's throw us in the mix, and we've talked about this before. Imagine if you got like the one reward you would get from a competition like draft, where the only thing you didn't get a pack, you didn't get anything else, but you get one, 10-game loan card to use against any player in the game. That was it. You could use it for any player, because how many times do we and you especially, do you try a player, play him for a couple of games, think it's not what I was expecting? And you don't get to try them out, yet you have to shell out 5 million, 8 million, 10 million, and you may lose on it, you might be lucky, you might gain profit on it, but you wish you would have got a chance to actually try that player out.
Yeah, that'd be a decent reward. You can literally pick any player and just have them. Obviously, it's got to be, that's what they should do. It should be like a reward pick. These are the 3 rewards you can have. Like if you win a draft, or in this new mode, a daily tournament, or you have a different tournament for a different thing. So let's just say one day you have 2 different tournaments. They're up for, I don't know, I'm making this up on the top of the head, but let's just say 1 week you have 5 different tournaments each week. They're there for the week. One tournament gives you any loan card for 10 games that you want. One gives you a 100k pack. One gives you a player. One gives them that. And then you have similar criteria to like objectives, to criteria to enter. So it might be a max squad of 82. You've got to have a full silver team, they've got to be all English, all French, whatever it is. I think that'd be brilliant, as well as a normal one. Normal ones you can just play with your normal FUT team. So it gives people the ability to actually use their normal FUT team in a mode outside of weekend league. Because at the minute, if you don't play weekend league, you're normally going to be grinding some kind of objective in Rivals, and Rivals is all over the place anyway because of objectives. There's no real place you can just casually play with your FUT team and play people that are casually playing in the same way. And obviously it won't be casual if you're playing for a reward. People will be, you know, and I know two-sided coin, people will probably be like, I can't win it, it's annoying, because that's the way it goes. But it's food for thought, isn't it? I like that one idea you had there about loans, because yeah, I would have tried R9. Well, to be fair, I used R9 94 in a draft, and I really liked him. He was a machine. So I don't know. Did I overplay with him? Probably.
But the problem is, you only get. And I agree. People say play your draft. You because it's a lucky dip too. You don't know who you're getting. So yeah, it's great if you get like an R9. That's fine. But even if you do, you're still not playing the same kind of standard player you'd be playing in weekend league. So it's not maybe a true reflection of the player or your ability to play with that player. So you might play someone who's quite poor, but you might smash them and think, oh, he's great. Oh, no, yeah, definitely buy him. So I think they have to bring something into the game where you can just try any player you want for a limited time, but you have to grind to get that reward. Essentially, I don't know.
Yeah, there's loads, isn't there? And it's
an idea, but
I'll talk about like weekend league again. So I've started getting. I got a message from EA the other day. I didn't read it properly, to be fair. I just clicked through, but I now get a survey after every game, and they said it's going to be up for a week, and I get an online survey which asks me about, and it's to help them kind of figure out button delay, because they did release a pitch notes about it, didn't they? There wasn't an awful lot in there, to be fair. There wasn't a lot of meat on the bone, but this survey is kind of like asking me questions like, did you notice any like speed up lag? Was there severe button delay? Was it slower than other matches? Blah blah blah. So it's quite good. I don't know what they're doing with the feedback, as long as people are legitimately giving the right feedback. Because if people just say yes, there's a problem with every game, it doesn't help them what they're trying to do. Because obviously, if they look at games like, oh, well, this one's actually right, it's just a waste of their time. But that's interesting. I just assumed everyone had it. I have no idea. They must just randomly have picked loads of some accounts. Maybe it's because I've played 2,000 games. I don't know if it's like, because I guess they'd probably pick accounts where they've got lots of games on them, just because then they know they're going to get, they've got a best chance of people actually play. Yeah, you don't want to pick somebody who's played one game of FIFA. That's interesting. But I mean, the weekend, your rants over weekend league were like,
I think we'll go down to the nitty gritty of my rant isn't about it's just prepare for a bit of a FIFA rant, but we're not. We're both 100% agreeing on this. We're not putting the game down because, and I don't speak for Chuff, but we both love playing the game. And I love playing the game. I love the game. I'll play it all day, any mode, whatever it might be. But there are some fundamental issues with the game, especially weekend league, especially because I've been away from it for so long. So, taking away your opponent on the sweaty drop back or the keeping ball play or long celebrations, all that, you have to just that's a mindset thing. That's not a game thing. That's a mindset. So that's the first thing. The main issue is, I almost feel sick hearing this, but it's a server issue. Right? Let's put it into context. This game or this company make millions and millions and millions of dollars on revenue on not just on the sale of the game or on packs. That is a part of it. But whenever they do a promo, every other weekend or every other week, whatever it might be, like they do make millions.
Oh God, lightning round. Cha-ching.
Yeah, millions. So when I'm playing a game on weekend league mode, and I talked about this, and I'm not going into too much detail. I'm very much in the mode of the style of football I like to play on FIFA is replicate the kind of style of football I like in general. So you have a fast striker. We all know this game, especially
down the wing, cross it, head it.
Last year. So if it was this year, I would do the same thing. But so I play a lot of pace, pacey striker. So I'll play my striker on the shoulder of the opponent's defender. I'll play his style of play to be get in behind. So then I'm playing a lot of through balls, a lot of balls at the top, looking for opportunities. So I was doing that quite a lot, in Rivals just to practice, and it was working. I had Michael Owen Moments card, and like, its burst of pace was electric. It was great. So they go into weekend league, and the button delay due to the servers meant that every time I tried a through ball over the top, or by the time I'd hit the button to pass it, and the player moved, by the time then my player passed it, every single time, like I'm not talking once or twice, I'm talking like 9 out of 10. Michael Owen or whoever player was more than likely it was Michael Owen because that was the only four to play was offside by 5-10 yards. That's not my issue.
Wow, I don't know. You are turning 40 soon, so it could be
That's true.
it could be the old reflexes, the hand-eye coordination reflexes,
muscle
not what they
reflex.
used to be. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play that through ball,
The muscle
button
memory.
pressed. This is
Actually,
it, DRYSIDE
hold
doing
on.
it. Oh, I'm gonna play that through ball. 2, 3, click. That's only it.
Or when I think back, actually, I did a couple of times. I did reach down to get a beer.
Yeah,
And I hit the button
exactly.
and I thought, oh no, but yeah, no, it could be down to that too. But it's so many people are saying it, and it's just frustrating when not even a through ball like being offside. It's just when you're defending and you're trying to pass it out from the back or clear it, and there's that button delay, and you're either conceding silly goals or whether it's conceding a goal or not creating a chance for yourself or just a general play up the line or inside the midfield, and it's literally taking 3-4 seconds for a pass to come off.
It can be really
We're
bad at times, and
Oh,
it's hard to understand. Like we play Fortnite. Fortnite, you'll have 100 people connected to the same game. 100 people. Now I'm no expert, but to me, having in my head, it's telling me logic. I'm no expert in like connectivity and networking and everything, but 100 people connected to one game is far more complicated and tougher to get without lag than it is for 2 people connecting. I do not understand how, like Fortnite, 100 people in there, no lag, smooth. FIFA, it's just 2 of you, and it can get and it can be so laggy or the button delay or whatever.
it's a speed up lag, it's a slow lag.
There's so many different types, isn't there? And it's
connection. Yeah,
yeah, it's
you're right in saying that. How long? What have we been playing Fortnite? A year, close to a year in Fortnite. I don't think there's any. I don't think we've ever had one experience of lag. Not one.
no, I don't think so. Maybe one, but yeah, it's minimal. Obviously, yeah, lots of problems this week with the servers going down a lot. Well, like I don't know, rumors of being hacked and stuff, and which they can't really help because it's a tough one. Obviously, nobody can be fully protected. No company can be fully protected when the hackers want to hack them. It's seen with loads of companies, but it's like it's a tough one because it creates more hate for EA because everyone's like, oh, EA, your servers are shit, they're down. It's like, but they've rumored to have been hacked. That's not. I know they could have better security. Everyone could have better security, but even with the best security, people still get in. People still hack these companies.
This is my argument that one of the biggest like computer global companies in the world for what they do. So if their servers were vulnerable, why? Like why do they have security in place? Why do they have servers that I'm no server expert, but if they've been hacked, surely it means there is vulnerabilities.
Yeah, I think I get the impression that anyone's vulnerable because it's hacking. So many places and things get hacked that makes you think, is anything really safe? If like your top hackers wanted to enter is anything really that safe? I don't know, but I guess aside from even the hacking, the servers are. I agree with you. The servers and that inconsistency in gameplay is really frustrating, really annoying, and also you don't know it before because you might get a 5-bar or 4-bar, however many top bars, and you're like, damn, this is cool, and it stays flat. You're like, lovely. You get into the game and you get button delay, and you're like, it's annoying. The only other thing that really griped me with this weekend league is the kind of the BS element, the bullshit, the momentum. I mean, I had a few instances where it went in my favour, and I was like, I feel sorry for that guy. But it's just awful. Like, I'd go 2 up in 20 minutes, literally all over them. And then for the next 30 minutes, they're all over me, don't score. Then I'm all over them, I don't score, like proper all over. And then they're all over me and score 3 in about 10 minutes and I lose 3-2. And it's just kind of, I know you get that in football. There is momentum in football, there is. And I know it's hard to recreate in a game because 90-minute game, trying to squeeze that down with momentum, because it does happen in football, teams get momentum. It just feels like it's a bit too momentumy at the minute. The bounce of the ball and things are a bit too obvious. I don't know, it really pissed me off because there's loads of times I was just like, how the hell as that, it just felt just the way the ball bounced, or like, you get this as well, keepers. I play against Van der Sar. The guy is insane. There's 8 of him in goal. My Van der Sar can't save shit.
Yeah, well, this is my biggest issue, right? So, and as much as we all want a real life game and a video game, we've talked about this until the cows come home. It's a video game at the end of the day. Video game players don't have off days. Like my Kevin De Bruyne is 93 rated centre midfielder. His short passing is 94. His long pass is 92. I've played some games where Kevin De Bruyne his passing is atrocious, which will go to the opposition. Now, if it's a video game and his pass is 94, every single pass of his should be of that quality because he's not in real life. He doesn't have a bug. He's not having a bad day. He's not having an argument with the wife before the match. Yeah. It should be exactly as the stats are, and that's the video game side of it.
There are things that come into that though. So it's not just his stats. There's also how much power, where you're pointing the stick, and when you release the button as well. So there are other elements into how good that pass will be. Because, for example, if you're facing one way and you're trying to pass it directly behind you, and you try and put lots of power on, like those things affect it. But you're saying if you're 100%. Doing a clean pass forward, sorry, just being clear because No,
it's a fair point.
No, I agree. If you're doing a clean pass forward, right power, right direction, it should go there 94% of the time. Exactly where it should go.
Directly to the player I want it to, and it goes off center to the right. And I'm thinking, because if you get you're back to the play and you just hit X quickly and turn back, of course it's not going to be accurate. That's part of the video game. But a pass from one player to the other, X to Z or whatever, what's right in front of you, that should be going by computer dynamics. That should go straight ahead to the players in front of you. But it doesn't at times. And I don't know whether it's the server, whether it's the game, or whatever it is, or whether it's been all accumulated in this kind of weekend league rant. It's probably a part of it, but it was hard.
Do you think that the FIFA 20? So FIFA 20 is definitely more people. It's more of a boring game in a way because if you've got to pass it around, people are dropping back. Even pros, they're not high scoring games normally because they literally pass it around until an opening opens up. Whereas FIFA 19, you obviously had the flick ups, the flick up volleys, you had the El Tornado crossing, back post headers, so a lot of crossing, so a lot more I guess like flair ability almost thing. Do you think that if EA don't have a flaw in the game that make it a bit more like flary, that every game, any future FIFAs would just fall into the same where everyone's like, well, I can't, there's no like flick ups or low drivens. So basically, I'm just going to pass it around until I get an opportunity I can 90% score because I can't flick it up. I can't El Tornado. I can't La Croqueta my way through. So the more EA nerf skill move chain, all that stuff, people literally have to go just to passing, which is real world football, but you wouldn't want to play a real world football match. Do you think that could happen?
100%. I think I would prefer FIFA 19 from a personal view because
of course you would. Mr.
Of course,
that.
But this is exactly the point. You look back in the 2000s and 90s, what were Bolton renowned for?
Yeah, the long ball.
Yeah, long ball or the big long throw in. Was it Nolan? Whoever, I can't remember, but somebody will correct us, but it was a big long throw in. I want to know in a game, you know what, if I need to, I can probably get a goal from utilizing that style of play. But in the game at the minute, I can't. I just don't know. I can't use some of the players that I have to my disposal to my advantage because I know I can't score headers, more than likely, unless I get a very obvious opportunity. Or I am more than likely going to have to build up the play and work my way in. Because of drop back, I then have to work my way in, work my way back out again, work my way back in again, and seize the chance where there might be a gap. So, yes, people might say that's more realistic because you can't score every 2 minutes, but you can't. If I want to play a big man up front, I want to know that if I pump it in the box, he will be a danger. But in this game,
He's no danger.
you look at the value players that are big players. They don't sell. People don't play them anymore.
Not
in
like
FIFA
last year. But it's like
Yeah.
it feels every year FIFA gets more realistic in a certain way. So every year they tweak things in terms of like it'll be their selling point with the new dribbling to make it more realistic, more precise, or like this year we even tweak bits where they do so beforehand. You used to be able to make those 180-degree passes, okay, but then we're like, well, that isn't realistic, so we're going to nerf those. And that's my only fear is that when you make it more realistic, more all the time, more realistic, cutting out like chain skilling, like Lock Rocketta was annoying as hell. It really was. But
Yeah,
when you
that kind
cut
of thing
all
I
that out
agree
and it goes more and more, you get into what football is, which is passing the ball. But unfortunately, because people don't want to lose it, because people end up just all dropping back, and then you've got obviously OP counter attack and things that and drop back and stuff, which just aids to it. So that's my only fear. That's my only fear that the more realistic you get with it, the more if there's no fun element for people to abuse, or a flair element or kind of thing, that people will just be like, well, just got to. And it's kind of does come a lot from how the pros play, doesn't it? Because if a pro starts doing a move like overload ball side, pros have been using it for a bit, but I think a few big pros started talking about it more in the last couple of weeks, and literally the last month or so, it's just everyone's using it, and that's kind of the way it goes. Well, however they play FIFA is generally how a lot of people try and play FIFA, and that's kind of how FIFA's played. And
100%.
it's
And why should I be punished if I have a top quality player that is 6'6", 6'7", that can win everything in there in the box? In football, you are going to get that. How many times have I seen that in football that teams will do that? Look, there's a good example.
Yeah.
Harry Kane is a 90. I think his car's is it 93 in the game.
his top car's 93, yeah.
93, but probably one of the least used cards in the game.
No, because the meta
And
this year
one
is
of the cheapest.
is agility, isn't it? And he's not got it, and
He's only 200,000 for a 93 with a Premiership player.
I know, and it's tough. What I find annoying is when you were saying about it when you're crossing. I don't think I've seen it once in this FIFA where you see somebody like a centre back for a corner where they literally get up and just flipping hit it with their head. It's always, if I score a header, it's always a bit of a weak one. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right, and it's very rare. I honestly could probably count the number of headers I've scored on, I don't know, 2 hands, 4 hands. It's definitely under 20, I think.
Yeah,
So
you very rarely score headers, and I think the only opportunity now to get a header on target or a goal will be from a corner. Do you agree? That's the only chance you have.
yeah, I don't even from corners because everyone goes short from corners and that's kind of killed the game a little bit in terms of possession because everyone just goes short corners normally because
Yeah, I hit that.
because pass and then it just leads to that more kind of keep ball all the time because there's just no point in crossing. I just don't think it pays off.
People don't cross anymore. They don't,
No.
and I know when you're playing against people, you're almost urging them to cross because I can deal with this.
Yeah, and then you do that, and they actually do. They bang a header in. You're like, how the hell?
Yeah.
How the hell has Ben Yedder just out jumped my David Luiz and smashed it in a header? But it's always the
That's
way,
true.
isn't it? But weekend league is it's a brutal beast, and I think I don't know. We'll move on, but it's
Yeah, it is what it is, and it's one of those things that there'll be
Yeah.
continued debates week in, week out. It'll always be. We'll talk about something else next week about what's
Yeah.
wrong, or
So let's
it'll always be changes. But
let's
enjoy it
move.
and
Yeah.
have fun.
Let's move on to talk about Let's talk a little bit about any of the trading stuff that's been going on this week. I've kind of already talked about mine actually, so I don't need to go through it because I talked about it with my team. But I've stayed away from everything. I've not touched any live cards or anything. I've learnt my lesson eventually. How about you?
Yeah, same.
I can't remember. Have you been screwed by Lewandowski this week, or has he left you alone this week?
Oh,
No, because no,
what happened last week? I've
I
said
think no. Last week was it? Yeah, and then you've sold him now, haven't
last
you?
week I sold him, yeah, because it was live on the pod that actually. And then
It was.
what happened was I had. So I think I lost. What did I say? Did I lose 30, 40K?
So that's 100K.
So that's easily 200K. So I lost a bit on him, and then I thought, you know what, take the hit. That's fine. I'm sick of it. Didn't want to hold on to him anymore. I'll move on. I'll build my team because I was building towards weekend league, so I had to. So because I needed to bring in new players, so I thought, leave it as it is. I've got my money back, minus whatever, and I made it up to a few trading things and stuff like that. And that was fine. So sitting the weekend, putting my weekend league team together, and then I just knew some dickhead would contact me and say, "Oh, Lewandowski's gone up in price. Oh, he's now at blah." I'm thinking, and then I saw a message come through on Twitter. Oh, who's this? And
I was on stream at the time.
I was, oh, look at it. Chuff. Oh, what's Chuff saying? Sent me a message saying, "Oh, ha, Lewandowski's now blah blah 8 whatever 880 890 something like that." And I thought, you complete asshole. I was trying to avoid it. I was going to Fitbin, wasn't looking at Lewandowski, but I should have known he would pull a dick move, like update me, reminding me of the cost of Lewandowski, just to stick one right up me. But you're a complete asshole.
You got off lightly.
I hope you joke. You know what? That's what God done to you. If you're joking.
You got off lightly because I was going to edit Lewandowski's picture onto Messi's because Messi's price was like 1.1 million or whatever. So send you that picture because I sent him an image. I was going to send you that because I thought if he's out, he may not be looking at Futbin. Therefore, he'll just trust whatever picture I send him. So if he thinks Lewandowski is now at 1.1, he might throw up. I was like, this is well worth it. But then we were on stream and I couldn't figure it out, so I just gave up and sent that one, and that was enough to get a reaction. But then, funny enough, he crashed because he got injured.
Well, he did, but then that was fine. 'Cause I thought, great, he's crashed. I've made a great decision. It's funny, it's crashed. That's okay. So then on Sunday morning, I was sitting having a cup of coffee, and I was just flicking through YouTube on TV, and I came across some video that was talking about certain players, and they were packing players, and I saw it come up Lewandowski 600. I thought, oh, that's amazing. He's dropped by another 200,000. I don't know when that was recorded, so I then thought, oh, that's funny. I'm going to send Chuff a message and say, stick a pack up you. And I went on, looked at Lewandowski. He was 980,000.
Oh,
God, you absolute dick end.
Should have held, mate. Should have held.
Oh, yeah,
so fun,
it's
isn't
one
it?
of those things. But you make coins to lose coins. So
exactly, I lost like 280,000 on Ronaldo. It's quite funny actually. There's two things that really like the tax really winds me up. The 5% tax because it stops you from trying out different players. Like how many loads of us would be trying out more players. But
what is it?
Well, it's just EA draining coins out the system, so you have to put them back in via points. It's just a way of keeping it going, but it's just bonkers because it's so bad. Because everyone would be trying. I think everyone would have so much more fun if they just took the tax out, because then you haven't got to worry about, oh my god, like you want to buy R9. That card was like 370,000 coins tax alone.
Yeah, there's no need for tax. Like why?
It's all to do with the system and making money, but it's just bonkers. It's a game. It's not real life. It's just mental.
Yeah, that's one thing that drives me insane. That's one thing from an RTG point of view that puts me off, especially with the whole Lewandowski gate thing.
Yeah,
the Leva as we like to call it, puts me off buying high rated players to the fact that if they go down, not only do they go down in price, but then you also have to add on your 5% tax, which can really shaft you. So for him, it was he went down slightly. Plus, there was another 40k to take off,
Yeah, it's
and
painful, isn't it?
you can't afford to if you're an RTG. It just means you have to grind some more and trade some more, and it's hard to take at times. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about it when I was getting rid of Ronaldo, and this was before I sold him. But I was thinking about it in terms of, so I was buying loads of cards today for Team of the Week. So buy them, the cards that I think are in Team of the Week, and then I'll sell them when they're out of pack. Sell them on Thursday or Friday for profit. So I'm buying cards. I'm buying them for about 400 to 700 coins each. So really, to make really good profit, you have to buy hundreds of them, right? If you want to really, hundreds of them. I gave up after 50. I was like, I can't do it anymore. And I was like, okay, I'm doing that. If I did hundreds, the effort I'm putting in, I could turn 200,000 coins into 400,000 coins. But it's a lot of effort doing it, and I've got a hold. And I thought, wait a minute. But then I'm just literally getting rid of Ronaldo now to get him out of the club when I could hold him and potentially might go up, after kind of Monday sell-off for a cost of way more than that. So it's funny that you get a card from a pack. You quite often, this is it, you pack somebody, you look at the cheapest price, undercut it by 5% to get rid of them. Yet when you're trading, when you're buying somebody, you're literally trying to eke out every last coin. It's quite funny, isn't it? That kind of that different attitude towards whether you pack somebody or whether you're trading somebody.
Have you seen the price of Moreno recently?
Yes, because I bought one to do Ramos. He's like
33,500
yeah,
coin
yeah.
for nothing. But they lost yesterday. So how does that even make sense? When he scored for us, we had him.
It's fodder. It's because of the Ramos SBC.
Yeah, he wouldn't budge, and then an SBC affects it more than the real life game.
Yeah. And that will help because that will take a lot of the supply of those off the market because he is a high-rated right winger in La Liga and he's Spanish, so he fits a lot of the criteria you need for Ramos. So that'll take, because there's so many of those Marino. It was literally, as we said, the forgotten card of FIFA. So there's a lot of those, but yeah, trading is definitely, the market's a little bit quieter. Let's see how this goes. Squad battle rewards for me yesterday were terrible. Normally I make a lot of coin, but it just seemed there wasn't that much going on in the market. I really struggled last night, so I'm not actually going to stay up late anymore for squad battle rewards. I'm going to I'm knocking it on the head. No, it's not worth it. I get to bed, sleep really late, and I'm always a bit late getting on with things on a Monday, and I'm knackered, so I'm not bothering anymore. Just gonna knock it on the head.
Yeah, same here, but Doris doesn't make it up, so all right. He's sound asleep.
Shall we talk Shapeshifters 2?
Shapeshifters 2, that's
Shapeshifters 2.
all things shapeshifters.
All Shapeshifters.
First of all, we'll talk us through who was in the second team, or the main team. Sorry,
I don't bloody know. I don't know who was in there. Nah.
no idea. Well,
Who was in there? I think I'll tell you one thing actually before we team. I like they've got these more loan versions. I like that. So you can try them out. Good. I know obviously they want to get you to buy the cards, and I just hope those loans aren't souped up versions of the real thing. I'm sure it's not. I know people often think it is, but you never know.
That is a conspiracy theory.
I think the team for me is probably better than the first team. Is it? No, actually no, it's not for me. I think you've got Kante as a centre back, Pereira, which you talked about earlier, you love, Ferland Mendy, who everyone loves anyway, but I'm not a massive, I don't know. Alexander-Arnold, I'm not bothered by. Richarlison, he's all right. He's expensive. Ronaldo, but he didn't get a weak foot. Let's talk about the most
controversial card. Ronaldo, talk to me.
Didn't get a weak foot. So there were rumours, and again, this could be from anywhere, that he was going to get a 5, the Shapeshifter was going to be a 5-star weak foot upgrade. Now, if he got that, I would have been doing that card 1,000,000%. But all he got was he got changed to left foot, and his shooting didn't get upgraded. So he's a right winger. He's now left footed. He got a little bit of a pace upgrade, and I think maybe like a dribbling and passing are only slight. So he's not that much different from his 94. It's sitting at 2.5 million right now, and I thought about getting it, but it's funny what you said to me, Dryce, on DM. You said, because I said it'd be strange using the left footer, and you said, yeah, it'd be like trying to eat with your knife and fork the wrong way around. I was like, hell yeah, that is exactly what it'd be like. You get through it, but it's gonna be bloody weird.
Yep, 100%.
Could
Yep, you
throw
still get the
defenders
job
though.
done, but you'll get the job done. You'll probably get the results, but it just won't feel right.
Yeah,
It'll just feel awkward.
it will, once you get used to it, it could be really good because people won't expect it. People will just be thinking Ronaldo right foot. So when you start whipping it onto the left, because people.
Especially as a sub. But why would you use a 2.5 million player as a sub? Maybe
Very
I don't
true,
know.
very true. But that's nice. Like Ribery looks quite nice, but they're all overpriced for me. And I've
Overpriced, yeah.
yeah, and we've
Yeah.
got the objective player. So I did Acuna from last week's, and I quite like him. Again, he's not in the first team, but I quite like him. He's quite nice. Use him in some objectives. Who's this week's card? I forget. Oh, it's that Bartra, isn't it? The centre back.
Yep, Portra.
He looks quite
Not
tidy. And again, with these, I always think the same thing. If you've got time, do them because it's a free card. Like if you're a grinder,
card.
if you're
Yeah.
pumping FIFA points on, don't bother. If if he's not going to make your team or any team, you don't do objectives because you don't care. Then obviously, probably not worth wasting your time. But for most people, especially RTGs, it's great. It's an 87 rated card. Get a few packs along the way. He actually doesn't look like a bad card either, does he? Really, I don't think.
Quite a nice feature that has been introduced to Footbin. If anybody doesn't know, or Footbin, but the body type has been introduced as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So you've got like high average, lean.
What would your body
stocky.
type be?
Those things, definitely extremely lean, like a machine.
Extremely lean. Mine would be offensive. Body type, offensive.
That's true. You did send me the wrong pic the other day. I was expecting that. I said, let me see a picture of your team. And I got a picture that, let's be honest, disturbed me. You can't take back those things. You can't see those things.
Let's just be clear, that did not happen.
That was meant for somebody else.
I think you're getting me and Doris confused here.
Doris has got a better six-pack than you, to be fair.
It probably has, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. There is one deep down somewhere in there. Who have you outside of Pereira? So you talked about him. Who else have you used from this team? Anyone?
I tried, I tried a couple. So I've tried Alexander Arnold, centre midfield. No, not for me. Not for me at
I'm
all.
not gonna lie, he looks a bit shit.
Physical, terrible, bundle off the ball. His passing, even though it's quite high, it's 91, wasn't great. And this is all in weekend league as well. His shooting, diabolical. So it was very much a very, like a wafer thin player in the midfield. He didn't do it at all for a cost of, going on 200,000 plus 200,000. I think he's at 210, 215 at the minute. But do not waste your money on Trent. That's what I mean by we're talking about loan cards. That's a pure example of somebody who you
Brilliant.
think actually he'd be great. Passing's 91, pace is 84, defensive 83, box to box player. He's lean, whatever. No, not. And I'm not just saying it because the style of the play I have or people I was playing against. You can read a player very early on when you're playing with. He wasn't great. A player that I'm on the fence about, which I think he's not bad, but I think he's way overpriced for what he is. He does a job, but he's probably more suited to a centre-back role, which you may know him talking about. English Premiership. Got CDM for Shapeshifters. It's David Luiz.
Oh, you're talking about the last team, not this. Okay, the last team. Yeah, the last one.
Last team, sorry, yeah. So I got him on loan. And
Yeah, he's a centre-back.
His passing. One thing I noticed, his passing, his excellency, spreading the play, like switching the play. Fantastic. Outside of that, nothing. 3-star for 1 million coins.
Yeah, he's not CDM. His
Medium
stamina.
high.
You can't use him as a CDM
No.
with his stamina 75. I mean, you just can't.
No.
He's just you.
No.
But that's one of why they've done Kante. This is I think the reason they've done Kante is because people who've got David Luiz, they'll be like, oh my god, I can get David Luiz and Kante and switch them in game. Oh my god, it's genius! Can't believe that. It's done like that, so you can do it. purposely so you can
Yeah,
do it.
it's
Like, why do you think Ronaldo got a
100%.
right wing card and not a right back card? It's because Ronaldo doesn't have a right wing card. There aren't that many right wingers in this area. There aren't that many amazing right wingers in the game. So it's perfect to fit him in that side. Because you've obviously got Neymar has a lot of left wing cards. Mbappe has a lot of central cards. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's just fitting that all round. So there is reasons why they're doing this. Who have I used? Richarlison. I liked him. I didn't like him. Then I liked him. I love his weak foot. I'm getting more and more about weak foot all the time. And I've
I don't get
tried.
Richardson though. Uh, and correct me if I'm wrong. Why have him as a cam whenever you could have had him as a striker to cam anyway? So is it really that much of a difference? I agree the whole upgrade thing, but
His original card's a right midfielder. His base card.
has he never been a striker?
Not in this game, no. His base card is a right midfielder. I think last year he was changed to a striker when he got a winter upgrade. Maybe I might be
Oh,
wrong.
it's his 82 is in form.
His inform
Is
would be
an
a
82
striker.
striker.
Yeah, so his base card's a right mid. But thing with Richarlison is it's not his Futties card from last year. Like, I love that
No,
Futties
no way.
card.
We all had him.
This isn't the same. It's only 90 rated. It's not the same. But no, it's a nice card. But it's not worth 1.5 million. So that's all I've really tried. I kind of, yeah, I'm not really into this. I like the weak foot changes or the foot changes. I think that's cool and interesting. But for me, we said it last week, so we haven't gone about it. But I just think I'd like some players that haven't had all the I think Richarlison's good because he's not been in it much. And Ribery's brilliant. Pereira's had loads of inform, but that's all right. Kante shouldn't be in there. He's had too many cards. I think Mendy the same. Ronaldo, fair enough. You've got to sell packs. Vinicius, actually, I guess it's not too bad. The last week's was worse for SBC cards. Like
Put you in the spot.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one player from this promo that you think for value for money, and the player that he is, for whatever reason, not your team, but to fit in an ideal team, who would you pick?
Value for money.
Yeah.
I would probably go for. Oh, it's a tough one. I'd probably go Mertens, to be honest.
Oh, snap!
211,000 coins for Dries Mertens. Like, that's
100%.
not bad because he's a good card.
93 pace, 95 dribbling, which means your pace has gone up by about 5, 6 as well.
Yeah.
Shooting, short and lane. That's a quality card for 200,000 coins. All over that.
Yeah, and I used his 89 rated for a little while up front in Weekend League, and it was really nice for me. So I think that'd be a really nice card to use. So no, it's interesting. Both had the same one. So that's Shapeshift. I don't know what promos like next week are we gonna have. Obviously, we've had a promo every Friday. I think every Friday there's been a promo.
I think it's Carnival. Is it next week? Carnival?
I don't know. I can't take it.
Carnival's all at the minute in Germany, and where else? I know it's in Cologne at the minute in Germany.
Rio starts next week, I think, doesn't it?
Rio. So it must be coming up.
Yeah, it must be soon. Oh, but it's the Libertador Copa de Minore. That's it. That's one. That's
Libertadores. For the amount of Brazilians you have in your team, no.
Yeah, no idea. But it could be something to do with that, couldn't it? I guess. But we'll either get a loading screen. We might get one tomorrow, Wednesday. If not, it'll be Thursday. Because sometimes they do it days before. But that's normally when the other promo's finished, isn't it? It's when the other promo's finished early. So this one doesn't finish till Friday. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm promoed out.
I actually think it's funny because we all want promo. Then when we get it, we're promoted out. But I think the reason why EA will deliver a promo this week is because there's been so much bad press on social media. They need something to take the attention away from it.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll release something else. The newest thing.
Maybe.
Potentially.
But they always have bad press, don't they? They've always got this whole, that whole stuff going on. And actually, I say we won't. We're going to talk about briefly, just in terms of time. But they've got some problems. So there's in France. And I know this was a couple of weeks ago. I think we very briefly mentioned it, but there's some lawyers, isn't there, that have launched a case against EA?
Yeah, there's 2 lawyers in France. 2 Parisian lawyers have launched a case against EA about gambling laws and how, how much EA make in terms of the revenue to essentially what they see as gambling, spending money on FIFA card packs that could include, as we all know, any player in the whole game. And the statement they made was that in this game, everyone wants to have a dream team to go as far as possible. And one of their clients, they spent €600 in 5 months and didn't get a. Obviously, in that case, we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
But they said the more you play, the more you have the possibility of getting big players. We believe that a gambling game has been integrated into this video game because buying packs is nothing more than a bet. It is the logic of a casino that has entered their homes, and for them, it's their kind of case study as such is that 11 or 12 teenager can, without any restrictions, play foot and commit money because there's no parental control system in this mode. So that's a statement from the lawyers.
Because they've asked for loads of data as well, haven't they? They've asked for exact data, not just because the odds we get in the game are a bit crap, really. Because we all know that odds are not based on the rating; they're based on the card. So, like, you've got less chance of getting Mbappe 89 versus Sergio Busquets 89.
Yeah, the lawyers have asked for. They've specifically asked for the algorithm which generates the distribution of player cards in packs. So they want to know they want to know the facts, of the algorithm behind what you get in a pack, because they're right in saying that it is almost bringing a casino into the home.
Well, it's actually worse than that. It's actually worse than that in a way of if it was laid out that the odds. So if you knew, like, you can look up the odds of winning in roulette and stuff. If you really want to, you can look at the odds of, and if you look at a slot machine, it will tell you the odds of winning and all these kind of things. But with EA, you can't see the proper odds. And if the gambler, if they're changed at any time, then the casino has to let you know, because that's manipulation.
Yeah.
If there's strong rumours, we believe that EA do change pack weights. And it may not be between 200k packs, 100k pack 3 months ago versus 100k pack now. The probability may stay the same in what they tell us, but it does the odds of packing Mbappe change in those things. If that does, that's not just gambling. That's fraud in a way.
It's fraud, yes.
Because you are selling something. You're not telling people that you're making it harder for them. So you're essentially, it's like if a casino all of a sudden slipped in, were cheating to make sure you lost more often. That's fraud. Yeah. That's not allowed. So that's fraud. Serious. That is. I mean, if this algorithm shows that they are doing something like that, they'll be in big trouble. Forget about the gambling side. They'll just be done like they could be, because people could bring a case of, I've spent this much money because I believe this was the case, and actually you've changed it to make it less likely without informing me. Therefore, that's a con.
Well, we've had this discussion before that in a conspiracy, well, I suppose it is a conspiracy theory, that I've had that the more money you put into the game, the more likely you're going to have better pack luck, because if you get better pack luck, then they see you put money into the game, you're going to put more money into it, which it makes sense. But what I don't agree with, it's a very grey area, is that within this statement from one of the lawyer's clients is that they said they put €2,000 into the game and they didn't get anything more than Costas Manolos of Napoli.
Yeah.
And the amount that they've spent has actually made them fall behind on their rent payments. That's an issue with the person. That's not. Yeah,
that's not EA's.
That's not the game.
No.
They've made that decision that they've spent their rent money or their food allowance or whatever that might be. That's their decision.
No, but also
they are responsible. But
Yeah, and also there's a few issues here. Then you've got the one about, I've spent loads of money. I spent $1,000 and not packed anything, right? There's that kind of view. People are like, I've spent X amount with $1,000 to whatever. I've not packed an icon. Well, no, you're not expected to, because if you look at the odds, you can work out that the odds of packing, I said to somebody on stream the other day, it said in whatever pack we were looking at, I think it was a 100k pack, the odds of packing a 90 rated player were 2%. So I said,
Yes.
so in order to definitely get one, you have to open 50 100k packs. And statistically, it might have been less than 2%. Statistically, if you open 50 of those, you will get a 190 rated player. Not telling you who, you'll just get a 90 rated. Statistically, 50 100k packs is 100,000 FIFA points. So you're talking about £600, and you statistically should get 190 rated, should, or whatever the odds were. It might have been less than that. I'm just an example. So if people are like, I spent 200 quid, didn't pack a walkout. I'm like, no, because you shouldn't. Statistically, you shouldn't. So you can't argue that. That's fine, because that's honest. But changing things, obviously, the whole essence of it as a gambling model, I disagree with. But then this manipulation of things as well is bad.
Yeah, but I think people have to understand. I don't think a minor can make those decisions.
No, that's it. The whole model, I think, is wrong, because there's no. I've said this for a long time, that if they don't self police, self regulate, or change their model, it will be changed for them. And like with any of this stuff, like financials, it will get changed harsher. It'll be harsher for them if they leave it to the regulators or somebody to do it for them. Like, it'll get banned.
Yeah.
Whereas they should, change it up.
As as a 14-year-old, could you have made that decision, or would you just
No,
wanted the best
just
player?
want the best players. You just want the packs, and
Yeah.
you don't fully understand the
So
concept of money in terms of, you don't, and that's not.
where it comes from?
Yeah, you don't, because at 14, you generally, they're not, you're not going to be earning the money or have the responsibility of bills, mortgages, kids. So
Yeah.
it's just natural. That's just the way it is. You just don't. So it's a real, I think it's only a matter of time before they get banned. Like FIFA
Yeah, it's
points
pretty
and the like.
groundbreaking because of this. The Belgium is big enough, and it was a big statement. It got banned in Belgium. If it goes to France, that's groundbreaking, and the knock-on effect that will have could potentially be epic, off the domino across Europe, France, then Germany, Holland, UK, whatever it might be. That could really, like, the repercussions could be huge.
They could. I think that they'll change their model. I do. I think that whether they get forced to or whatever, but I think they could go down. There's different routes. So just two ideas, just bang bang. There's like they could go like a battle pass kind of model. So you pay a fee per month, and as that you get as you level up, you open up new rewards. So new packs and things. So it takes out FIFA. There are no FIFA points. You buy battle passes, and it kind of you level up almost like objectives, but obviously better rewards. Whereas you like Fortnite, so very similar to a Fortnite model. But then also another thing they could do in conjunction with that, or separate, it would not surprise me, because if they're like, right, we can't get people to randomly put money in, so maybe you, like, have a store. And I'm not saying this is good, by the way. I'm just throwing out ideas of what, if I was them, what I would think about doing. Like, literally copy the Fortnite model. So you have a battle pass, but also
Yeah.
if you want to buy a player with, with, let's say, V-Bucks, but essentially money, right? It's like Fortnite is called V-Bucks, but it's money. If you want to buy yourself a Henri moment, you can buy him. He's going to cost you £250, £300.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing stopping them doing that. That's just their own pricing model. Now, is that going to be profitable? People, it's funny, if Henri, this is actually, this is a question to you, DRYSIDE, right? Do you think if Henri was on the market, you could, let's not use Henri, let's use Moments R9. Actually, no, that's a bit too extreme.
Yeah.
Let's use somebody who is, thinking of somebody who's like, okay, let's say Ronaldo. Let's just say normal Ronaldo. Let's say he's about 1 million coins, right? Normal Ronaldo or Messi, one of those cards. How much money, FIFA points, somebody will spend on getting that card? It costs a lot. Statistically, to pack that card or to generate enough coins, you're looking at hundreds and hundreds, if not £1,000, right, of FIFA points to be able to get to 1 million coins. So let's just say you've got somebody who does spend that money. If you said to them, you can buy Ronaldo in the game for 500 coins, do you think they might turn around and be like, no way, I'm not spending 500 quid for Ronaldo? Because there's that gambling element, which is actually what drives them to spend the money. Well, they won't buy him for 500, yet they'll spend 1,000 trying to pack him because they could pack something better as well.
1,000,000%.
So that's
Because
what
if you ask most people, if I asked you and you asked me the same thing, if if you said at the start of the game, when we first started playing FIFA, if you would pay £50, just £50 up front, you get Ronaldo. Would you do it? I might consider it.
Would I for 50?
50 quid? You might consider.
No.
You might. But we're talking about a gambler's, mindset here.
I know, but I would
They
have.
will-
I
they will
would have done
pay.
points. So back when so last year, somebody said, "Do you want to buy?" Oh, it's a tough one. Buy enough. I think 50 is a bit cheap.
Well,
50, I think
no,
no,
well,
50 is
think
too
about it.
cheap because they wouldn't have it that cheap because you got to think of at the minute to pack that it's going to cost you about 500 to £1,000 to generate enough coins to buy yourself Ronaldo,
Yeah.
right? Let's just say 500 quid. So his price, if you're going to buy him, can't be 50 quid. It's got to be more like 250. It has to be. Would you?
No, but that rules out the likes of us who are in the mindset of we know a financial situation. I know that's ridiculous.
Oh, I know, but a lot of people
Pounds,
come in the
I might
stream and they spend, and I'm talking about those people that spend a lot of money on points. If somebody who spent 2,000, just say somebody spent £2,000 on points, right? And they've packed 2 million coins worth of points. Let's just say that's what they've got. If I said to them, okay, if you, instead of that, would you pay £2,000 to have Ronaldo and Mbappe? Just those two cards. You pay £2,000, you'll have Ronaldo and Messi. So it's the equivalent. Which would you rather do? 2,000 worth of points where you could end up with less, or £2,000 and you get those two cards? I think people will literally do the points because they'll be like, I could get better. I don't think people would spend that much on two cards.
Yeah, because the irony is people go,
it's hidden.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they'll go, that's it, that's what I meant. That people will go, I'm not paying that much for a card, that's ridiculous. But when you hide it within the pack umbrella, or whatever it's called, the pack, like the smoke and mirrors of packs, and I could get someone better than that. People happily spend that without thinking about it. It's mental.
It's funny. You look at this, and I said, I watched a guy who's a pro player in America on Friday night on stream, and he spent the guts of it was close to $1,000 on pack. He was just buying pack after pack after pack, and he obviously got 83s, 84s, 85s, but he didn't get any promo players. He didn't get a Ronaldo or he didn't get a Messi. If I had said to him, rather than spend £1,000 all these random packs, if you spend £500, we'll give you Ronaldo. I can guarantee he wouldn't have done it.
No, that's the mental thing with the psyche of it.
That's a guarantee. It would have been guaranteeing him Ronaldo, and he probably still wouldn't have done it.
No, because we all that mindset is but I could get something better, and it's the fun element. There's more to it than just getting the good player. It's the
Open up packs.
It's the element, and that's why maybe that model wouldn't work, because people wouldn't buy them because they'd be way too expensive.
But there's the gambling. That's the gambling element. It's the buzz rather than it's not the end goal because you don't want to know the end goal. It's the buzz of not knowing the end goal. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's mad. I think EA are going to get hit. Their revenues are going to get absolutely smashed by this. One way or the other, their revenues get smashed because they will not be able to do FIFA points. They'll have to restrict it, which really, I personally think a battle pass kind of thing would be quite nice. Whether you can pay for it if you want.
How well how does Fortnite do it? I think it's great. It's so transparent. I think this is the problem with FIFA. Nothing is transparent. That's the issue with the whole pack thing. Fortnite is, if you want to be stupid enough and if you want to pay £20, I'm not saying anybody's stupid, but if you want to decide you want to buy an outfit that gives you no, bear in mind this is the thing in Fortnite, it gives you no advantage in the game, but you pay £20 for something cosmetic.
Yeah,
you do. Whereas with FIFA, it's a little bit different because if you pay £50, £100, whatever it might be,
it benefits you.
That does give you advantage in the game.
So they can't make them that cheap. That's what I was going to say. Could EA say that these promo cards work like Fortnite? So you've got a battle pass that gives you benefits, but then each promo. A card will come out and you can buy that card if you want with real money. So let's just say, and they are quite cheap. So let's say team of the year, maybe the team of the year, let's say team of the year Ronaldo is the most expensive at 100 quid. Of all of them, other promos are like 30, 20 quid each. the problem is, and this is what everyone will say, that with grinding the game as well, everyone would have an absolutely amazing team because a lot of people just buy a few of these players. Do I think that? I think that would work better than it does now because you don't have the gambling element. It's, as you said, it's transparent. If you want to spend 30 quid, you know what you're getting for 30 quid. You're getting
Yeah,
that
it's your
player.
choice. Money talks. If you've got more money and you want to buy that player, that's up to you.
But with that, the transfer market dies, doesn't it? I think.
The transfer market just goes dead. It just that dies. There'd be no more trading.
Because it wouldn't
Because that
be.
would kill it.
You really want to. Yeah, if you pay money, 30. You could go. Yeah, I guess.
It would have to be untradeable. If you paid £500, let's say, for Ronaldo, they would almost have to make that untradeable.
Well, they'd want to because they wouldn't want it tradable because they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I think EA would love to get rid of the transfer market.
Mm-hmm.
If they could make everything untradeable, and this is maybe they've been testing the water with giving rewards as untradeable. Do they?
True.
If they give, it's just, who knows where it'll go? Who knows?
It's a rabbit hole. It really is. You could talk about this for days.
I know. I was just looking at the time now, and everyone's listening. I was just like, "Oh, damn!" Because we could just, you could talk about this for a long time. But change is coming. It really is.
Yeah.
But not worried. But they don't use all the money they earn from it now, in terms to improve servers and things. So if their revenues are hit massively from FIFA, that's gonna flow down to budget and stuff to change the game. Like, I'd love to know, and I don't know, somebody listening might know this, but or not the exact detail, but obviously 20 years ago when you bought a game, and that was it. There was no in-game cost, no microtransactions, and then obviously we had the app market, and apps couldn't get anyone to buy them because there were so many apps on phones. So then they started doing them free with in-game purchases, and then their revenue went off the chart. And then obviously console producers were like, damn, we need to get involved in this. And they've done the same. But
like how innocent was sensible soccer, or the very old days of ISS, which would have been now as Pro Evo.
Yeah.
You just played with your mates. You played online.
Exactly. But I wonder what the development costs are like now. So, for example, like back then, and this is what I was saying. So back then, they, I think that, I don't know, let's just say they had to sell X number of copies. They knew if they sold 10 million copies, they were making the profit they needed to, to make it to continue. But now, has the cost gone up so much to develop? And I know they don't change the game that much every year, but I don't know, the cost that much higher for everything that they're like, damn, actually, we need these FIFA point profits to keep, to keep it going. I don't know, or is it literally just that their profit margin's pretty much the same? Profits are massive, and it's just going back to shareholders and bonuses. I don't know.
I think it's greed.
Probably, it's bound to be
FIFA
greed.
have the monopoly anyway.
Well,
So
it's greed, but it's expected greed because they're a listed company. So it's what they're there to do is make as much money.
True.
And it's not the gambling is wrong, and that is ethically, like, morally wrong. So 100% agree with that. But from a company perspective, if it's not illegal, and there are lines and they're blurring those lines, definitely. I get it. They want to make as much money as they can because they have to. Otherwise, shareholders would be, the management go and they get more management in that would. They've got to change how they do it because it is wrong. It's just fundamentally wrong. The system is so wrong. If somebody posed that system, it's interesting. Yeah. What do you think the government would say? Let's say UK government or whoever the commission is who decides this stuff. If somebody posed, look, this is a system we're going to come up with for a computer game. Okay, I'm sure they'd be like, no way. But because it's something that's just been there and going on for so long, people just kind of brush under the carpet a bit.
But you know what I think the government would say? In an indirect way.
How much tax?
They would actually think out of this. Yeah, how can we make more without directly being obvious about it? But that's another conversation.
Yeah. We can do. Yeah, let's leave that one right there because we're pushing an hour and a half of today's pod. But
I've only got one question, but I think it's probably we've kind of talked about it, but I'll obviously we'll mention it from Fit on the Ball. Is Does my you can answer this? Does my internet connection affect gameplay, or is it down to servers? Very tricky question.
Yeah, 100%. 100% your internet connection. Your internet connection, I think servers gets blamed for a lot of stuff that is somebody's internet connection. Definitely the servers are terrible and there's lots of problems, but also people's connections. My connection's often a problem sometimes, especially if somebody's watching something. You get lag, and then I'll go and check and somebody's watching Netflix or something, because you've got to have pretty decent upload. I think mine, I'm like down 70 bits and I'm upload about 20. But yeah, if somebody watches Netflix in HD, my FIFA, and I'm streaming, my FIFA lags. So 100% it could well be your internet connection. It's not always, but definitely something to check out, because I've had that one. Oh, it's the game's rubbish. Oh, wait a minute, let me just go and check. Oh, wait, actually, no, somebody's watching it. And so, yeah, definitely. And also, you don't know what the other person's connection is. So just because you're playing something and you're getting lag, fuck, FIFA shit, blah, 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 blah. It might not be FIFA. It could be the other person. You don't know. It'd be nice if EA reported that. It'd be nice if after a game you could just get a report, something that just easily showed you, where the lag. Just, there's got to be some way they can visually describe the kind of the latency they were getting either side of you and the opponent to the server, just so you could get a gauge. It'd be great if you could see, their connection was a bit dodged. There we go. Yeah. Both connections were fine through the game, so it must have been the servers, or I don't know.
Yeah, and the good thing is, it only takes a few seconds, but especially if you're playing weekend league, before you play your matches, just do a quick online check. Go to your broadband checker and just see what your speeds are, and then it's a bit of a peace of mind. You know that it's not you, so do your checks, which, as I said, takes 30 seconds. Broadband checker on Google, and you're done.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. But no.
Only takes a minute, girl.
Only takes a minute. Name the song. Name the band.
I just said take that.
Take that. Just said take that. Oh, did you say it? I didn't hear. Take that. Well, we should do a karaoke. We should do a sing along.
Next week's show.
Yeah, sing along. We'll do the whole pod in sing along. We'll do it in song. Weekend league. Smash my controller up. Smack my controller up. Ding 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 ding. There we go. Everyone's like
the themes.
Idiots. Yeah, we need to get some good themes on actually, and some add some stuff. We'll do that for next week. But I think we've covered everything for this week. It's we'll see what promo we get.
Good.
I'll be playing weekend league. You playing weekend league, or you done?
No, I'm away from my 40th birthday this weekend. I am being treated to a weekend away.
Ooh, naughty weekend away with Doris.
Doris has been all out. She spent her pension, and we are going away.
I love it. If your girlfriend heard this, she'd be like, I'm not even gonna try. But she'd literally be like, who the fuck is this Doris? And what what are you doing with that? And you'd be like, oh no.
She'd probably rage. I would not be going away this weekend.
You would not be. You'd be sat playing weekend.
She doesn't listen to the show.
I don't even know who she is, so there's no way I could even send her the show. Damn. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. As always, remember, questions, topics, anything you want us to discuss, please let us know. Even if it's not strictly FIFA related, like if it's football related, FIFA, or even just life related, always happy to have a chat. So let us know on Twitter. And until next week, ciao.
Peace out.